All right, we here. We in the house.
In the house. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy end of the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I hope everybody had a good time with your family.
Hope you all enjoyed it and ate a lot. Because the key word for Thanksgiving is what? Grease. Not grease, grease. Did you all
Grease.
get your grease on?
Get your grease on and family, food, football. My favorite holiday.
That's what it's all about.
Good times. Good times. Of course, until about 4:30 when then the Giants came on. And, then if you'd already eaten, it might, make some of it come back up. And if you hadn't eaten yet, like I hadn't eaten yet, it might make you not as hungry. But it is what it is.
Oh, before we go for any further, that guy talking, that's
Clay from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. Who's this?
I'm your man Mazo. It's all about Big Blue.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We need to get that in there.
Definitely got to get that in there. So it was Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I was trying to be optimistic.
You were.
And you know what? Let me say something though. I was pretty excited, I can say, in that first quarter when Dallas came, they had that field goal. But then when I saw Mr. Locke take off, and that I thought he scored, but they say no, but then Tracy ran it in on the next. I was like, wait a minute. Scoring.
A touchdown. What's that?
Early. So I was like, this could be the Thanksgiving miracle.
We had the lead.
I know, really. I was like, okay, Locke is going to be on today. And then it happened.
Well, listen, I mean, how many positive moments have we had this year? So I guess we should have just been satisfied with, 5 or 10 minutes of game time where we had the lead.
I recorded that part of the game and I kind of kept it there for a while because I wanted to savor the moment. I'm like, score again. Go, come on, guys, score. It's like, come on. I enjoyed it though. It was that moment I enjoyed.
It was fun.
And then it happened. Who's that little guy for Dallas? Turbin?
Kavonte Turbin?
Yeah, he's fast. He's supposed to be the fastest guy or one of the fastest guys in that.
He's not. They kept saying that. He's not even close to the fastest guy in the league. He's fast, but he's like 4.3 fast. There's a whole lot of 4.2s in the league.
Right. I thought so. I thought so. I'm like, because I never hear him, when they talk about like Tyreek Hill, I never hear them mention Turbin.
No.
I mean, he like you said, he's
fast. He's fast.
He seemed to be a lot faster than the guys we had on defense.
He's faster than our team.
I mean, he was doing his thing. And I even thought, when I saw Locke look at he looked at Neighbors for a while. He hit Neighbors a couple of times, and I was like,
Neighbors a couple of times, he hit Theo a couple of times. Yeah, no, I mean, listen. Somebody was posting online, who should we start at quarterback next week? And I said, listen, when DeVito played on Sunday, we scored 7 points. When Locke played on Thursday, we scored 20 points. I don't think there's any further questions. Let's go with the guy who got us 20 points, please.
Right.
Instead of the guy who got us 7 points. Are there extenuating circumstances? Sure. And did they play against the same teams? No. But you got 20 and you got 7. I'm putting my next chips on the guy with the 20.
I agree with
show me that was the fluke. Don't make me bet on the guy who got 7 and hope that was a fluke.
Right. And play the guy who was supposed to be playing anyway. Realistically,
you paid $5 million to be the quarterback when Daniel Jones isn't the quarterback. I don't see why this is a conversation.
I saw this thing online. It was interesting. It was like, you see, it's on Daniel Jones that he went to sleep at 2-9, woke up at 9-2.
I woke up 9-2.
I was like, oh man. He's in a good spot, though. I'll give it to him. He's in a good spot.
Yes, he is, and I'm done talking about Daniel Jones. I'm done.
Yeah.
That page is turned. We're moving on. Saquon, I'll keep talking about. I'm not talking about Daniel, especially since he's not even playing. Like if he gets in a game and does something, maybe we'll talk about him again. But to be on the practice squad, no. I'm done.
But Saquon,
anyway, so we did in fact score 20 points. We did kind of make it close at the end. We lost 27-20, which is not the type of stomping I was afraid might happen. So that was good. But another L. And for a brief moment, we had the first overall pick in the draft, but then the other games happened, and now we're back down to three.
Okay, so we
But three is still solid. And frankly, when you look at the schedules of the remaining teams that are in the top five or so, we have the best chance at the first overall pick. Again, I never want us to lose,
no,
but the reality is we are probably going to lose the rest of our game and probably will end up with the first overall pick.
which we won't be sad about.
No, at that point, I won't be. I'll be
Right,
sad each week until then as we lose.
right, right,
But when the season's over, I'll look back and say, oh, we got the first pick. That's a good thing.
right, right. It's just like you said though. When I look at these games, and no matter what, like just like they lost last week, I'm like, we play the Saints next, and I go, I'm rooting for them to win. I mean,
Of
just like
course,
every
of
time they
course.
score, I'm screaming, getting excited about it. And then you turn around and they do something that's like, what are you doing?
They're knuckleheads.
Wait a minute. That just reminded me of that play, that typical type of giant play when Drew Lock threw the pass and the guy tipped it. You remember he tipped it and then he caught it and he
Oh, the
ran.
pick six. The pick six.
And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, this can only happen to the Giants. It's like it can only happen to them. I
That,
was
that
even
was a
looking good.
freakish, that was a freakish play that we find a way to make happen to us. Yeah,
That's
no, you're
okay.
right. That wasn't like a standard. He threw a quick out and the cornerback read the play, stepped in front. No, this was he swatted at the ball and it bounced straight up in the air and then he ran under it.
That made it frustrating. But
Yeah,
I was happy they didn't get
and
blown
then
out.
Locke fumbled running the ball. So he had an interception and a fumble, both of which led to points, and we lost by one touchdown. So there you go.
We're getting better. It's only one touchdown.
We only lost by one touchdown. That's
Right.
true. Sunday we lost 30-7. So yes, it's better than that. But it is self-inflicted wounds. If we don't throw that pick six and if he doesn't fumble, I'm sure we would have found some other way to lose, but we would have had to find another way to lose because we were right in that game. Anyway, that's the past. I'm happy to look ahead. One more thing I will say about that game coming out of the game before we look at the Saints. The two biggest pieces of bad news, in my opinion, are that Dexter Lawrence and Theo are out for the season. They're on IR. Dexter Lawrence and Theo Johnson are gone the rest of the year.
No.
Dexter Lawrence hyperextended his elbow or something, dislocated his elbow, something painful to the elbow. So he's gone. And Theo Johnson was just starting to hit stride, right? He was the tight end out of Penn State that we
Yeah.
always say he's got the tools and the physical attributes. He's just starting to put it together.
What's wrong with Theo?
I want to say a leg injury. I forget, to be honest, what exactly his injury was, but he's on IR. But he's on IR.
Oh, so when
So that's not good.
so anything up the middle is at least if first and 10 could be first and 10 again and first and 10 again and first and 10 again and then maybe a touchdown type against us because nobody if Dexter's not there in the middle.
By the end of the game Thursday, we only had two defensive linemen. You hear me complaining sometimes, why we only got two defensive linemen in there, short yardage. We only had two defensive linemen because DJ Davison got hurt, Raheem Nunez-Roches got hurt. I mean, we just were dropping like flies, and of course Dexter. So we only had two healthy defensive linemen. We were signing defensive linemen uh, yesterday and today off the street. Like we got somebody from the Rams practice squad to play defensive line.
I always wonder about that. Like when they literally come off the street, like
Corey Durden is the Rams defensive lineman who I've never heard of.
he'd probably be starting this week.
And he will definitely get some burn because we don't have about four defensive linemen. And, how many plays can you expect your defensive tackles to play?
This game could be interesting, eh?
Now, again, like you said, New Orleans is not a great team. So, I mean, they're 4-8. So anything can happen. They're 4-8. They got a lot of injuries themselves. I'll just run the numbers real quick. They are 19th in the league in points scored. I'm sorry, in points allowed, and 14th in points scored. Of course, we're 18th in points allowed and 32nd in points scored.
Oh God.
But they're in the middle third, so to speak, in both offense and defense. But they're struggling with some injuries themselves. Their cornerback Paulson Adebo, who I had wanted in the preseason, out for the season. They're We should be able to run the ball. Their defensive tackles are not very good. Uh, Kalen Saunders is one of them. He's somebody who I remember when he came out, watching him at the Senior Bowl. He's athletic, but he's not especially good. And Nathan Shepard is the other one, the other defense tackle. They're not very good. We should be able to run the ball on them. Whether or not we will, who knows? Especially when it might be DeVito at quarterback again, in which case
No.
stack the box and say, "I dare you to throw." So
No.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm not giving up hope. The optimism should be there in the sense that we should be able to score against this team that is 19th in points allowed and is suffering injuries and it just isn't that good at stopping people.
Tracy can have a good game. I like
Tracy
Tracy.
can have a good game.
I
Tracy
like
and
him.
Singletary.
Our running backs are good. I mean, they're good. I can say they're really good.
I don't say
They're good.
really good, but they're good. They're
They're good.
solidly good.
I mean, yeah, they're
They're above average,
solid. Yeah, they're solid
solid.
running backs.
Yes.
They need if we can crack a little bit of a hole, they can get you like three or four. I mean, just every now and then. And
Yeah, no, as many people have said online, every time I complain about losing Saquon, our running game is not the problem. We're averaging 5 yards a carry. Okay, you're right. The running game is not the problem. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't have kept Saquon, by the
right,
way. But the running
right,
game is better than it has been in the past because we block better and the box is not stacked. That's the part they keep leaving out. When they say, well, Saquon only averaged 3.9 yards a carry with an 8-man box.
right.
Tracy is facing a 6 and 7-man box, and he's got better blockers than we had last year.
Exactly,
And got
exactly.
Malik Neighbors, who they have to double cover. So it's not like you just plugged in Saquon, plug out Saquon, plugged in Tracy to the same exact situation, and we're getting more yards per carry. Child, please. There is nothing on the football field that Tyrone Tracy's mama thinks Tyrone does better than Saquon. Tyrone Tracy does better than Saquon. Let's move on.
Let's move on right away, right away. Oh, I heard this, and this is funny. It's an answer a question that we both had about
Okay.
Jalen Hyatt.
Yes.
There was, oh man, it was on one of the sports shows, and I remember hearing this, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It makes me question the developmental aspect of the Giants coaches. They
Right.
said that Jalen Hyatt doesn't really run pass patterns well. That he can't understand how to run them that well. And I'm like, he played at, was it Tennessee?
Tennessee, and was lighting it up.
Right, lighting it up there, but he supposedly now doesn't run patterns well. And I'm like, what are you doing in practice?
What have we been doing since May
Right,
when we drafted him?
right.
Nobody has
And
pulled him to the side and said, "Well, this is how you should do this."
they're complaining about the way he runs patterns.
Is his route running that bad? I mean, really? Because
I
last
can't,
year, as a rookie, he had a whole lot more receptions and yards than he has this year.
right.
Did he forget how to run patterns this year?
It just- I'm hoping he gets, will he play? Does he play this week? Is he on the injured list?
No, he's playing. He's fine. He's
Okay,
fine.
so he's got to have a good game then. He should. If
Yes, their cornerbacks, like I said, their starting cornerback, Paulson Adebo is out for the season. So Alante Taylor, who is no big threat at cornerback, is going to be covering somebody, probably Slayton and Hyatt, because the Kool-Aid McKinstry, their rookie cornerback, is probably going to be on Malik Neighbors.
on neighbors,
Kool-Aid McKinstry is having a good year. He's a rookie, but he's having a good year. He's the best cornerback they have. So my guess is that he'll be covering Neighbors.
yeah, and then Wandell is like he's losing. I'm losing. He's losing his luster with me right now because he's more
Yeah,
of
I'm
a
ready to trade
veteran.
him. In some of my off-season moves, he's one of the ones that's gone.
He's one of the guys that gone. Oh, really? You're not a Wandell guy anymore.
I mean, I don't dislike him, but what my plan is to draft Cam Ward with the first overall pick and Xavier Restrepo in the second round. That's his boy at Miami.
Like
Maybe
Miami.
the third
Wow.
round. Maybe the third round. Or maybe we trade up into the middle of the second round because I don't think we need to spend the 33rd pick on Xavier Restrepo. But if we move up into the mid to late second round, I think he'll still be there. And then we don't need Wandale anymore. If that happens, then I would trade Wandale for like a day 3 pick.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I'm ready to
Wow.
move on.
So is your mock draft coming up anytime?
Oh, I've been mock drafting a couple times a day for the last, month. I just haven't really talked about it much. Oh yeah, my mock draft wheels are greased and moved. Yeah.
Because we have not a lot to talk about with these Giants other than
2024 is done. Yes.
still want
I
them to
put the
win.
fork. I put the fork in 2024. I'm looking ahead.
We want, you know what? Oh yeah, and aren't they? And I'm so sad to say this. Aren't they mathematically out of it right now?
We were the first team eliminated this year. Yes, sir.
That's
That
what
loss
I
on
saw
Thursday
that.
eliminated us
I saw
mathematically
that.
from the playoffs. We're the first team in the league to be eliminated.
Oh man.
That is
Oh
not
man.
a record you want to set.
That's tough. That's
That's
and
tough.
we okay. So we're the first one to get eliminated, and we still got how many games left?
50. No, we're 2-10. So there's 5 games left. And honestly, this is one of those things that drives me crazy. Evan Neal is clearly not a right tackle. Clearly not a right tackle.
Yeah, that's true.
Micah Parsons was beating him like he stole something. Just clearly not a right tackle.
Yes.
But we refuse to move him inside to guard, where he might be good. He doesn't have to be as nimble a foot at guard as he has to be.
Right.
He's doing very well run blocking at tackle, which makes me think he would be a much better guard than tackle. What is the point of not trying him at guard? Oh, we got to wait till offseason. No, in
Why?
the offseason, we need to already know if he's good because
Right.
then we have free agency and the draft. And if he's not a guard, we need to go get some guards because I'm not thrilled with Greg Van Roten and John Runyon. I mean, they're better than the guys that were here last year, but they're not the answer long term.
No, not long term. Not long term. Not
So
long term.
let's get Neal some reps at guard. We're 2-10. We're mathematically eliminated. How much worse could he be with the guards we have? But at least now you start to see, oh, well, because my first move in the offseason would be to sign Trey Smith, the Kansas City Chiefs right guard. He's a free agent. And he is a beast. But if we kept Evan Neal in now and he gets 3 or 4 games at right guard and he looks like he could be a beast, then maybe I don't need to spend that $75 million or whatever it's going to take to get Trey Smith here.
Well, can we get him anyway and just put him at? Can he play left tackle?
No, he is just a guard.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
he's a great guard, but he's not a tackle. But
We
yeah,
need line. We need a line
what is,
for. We're gonna get Ward. We need a line.
yes, yes, and that's why we need to see. Neal has proven he's not a right tackle. So can you show me whether or not you could be a guard before I just cut you entirely or trade you for a bucket of balls or something?
I can't. I just can't. And Dabo still has his job.
For the moment. I'm hopeful that Shane is gone. I'm now of the mindset that Shane has to go. Before I was like, a lot of turnovers, changing front offices is not good. You want to have some kind of, no, he's got to go.
He's
He
terrible.
has to go. He's in over his head. He's got to go. Now, Dable, I could take or leave. Honestly, I'm fine with him going. But if the new GM comes in and says, no, I think Dable deserves another year with this new quarterback, I could live with that.
But
Personally,
that's
I
the
would
thing
be
about
happy
it.
for him.
That's always tough if you're gonna keep a head coach and he brings in a quarterback in, that's his guy. And if you get rid of him now, you got somebody has got to deal with someone else's guy, like Dabo's doing. So
No, I agree. Listen, you know who I want? I want Mike Vrabel. I would like Mike Vrabel to be the head coach. But I'm saying if the new GM comes in and says, I think Dable has what it takes, let's give him another year with a new quarterback, yada, yada, yada. Fine. But if you ask me, I would say let's get rid of both of them and let's get Mike Vrabel in here as head coach.
wow, that would be a good move. You don't want to bring Belichick, back to the big
No,
boy
no, no. I think that ship is sailed. But I would, you know, who I bring a defensive coordinator is Robert Saleh. The Jets fired
Wow.
him, and now he's a consultant for the Bears, but he doesn't have an actual job. And he was a very good DC.
Yeah.
If we put him at, because Shane Bowen is not, I mean, I'm not blaming everything on Shane Bowen, but it's not like our defense is lighting up. Like I said, we are 18th in points allowed, which is okay, I guess. But we were first in the league in sacks for like the first 8 or 9 games of the year and still had 0 interceptions from the defensive backfield. We had one team interception. It was by a linebacker.
It's not, yeah.
Almost no turnovers and 18th in the league in scoring, not, top five. So all those sacks that they were getting relative to, other teams wasn't turning into great defensive performances and
Right,
certainly not
right.
into double.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
Partially because we were like 31st in the league in rushing defense. We can't stop the run at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
At all.
we
So
we we line up on the line, but then it's like when I see
and
when I see a lot of Giants have to get picked up off the ground, or they do a lot of this. It's like it's just amazing. It's like, oh,
our safeties lead the team in tackling again,
which is
which is
not good.
almost never good. That's almost never
Never,
good
never
because
ever is that good.
they're on the third level, right? They're not even on the second level. They're on the third level. So where do you think those tackles are happening? Those are
Way
not tackles for loss.
way downfield. Way downfield.
Very often they're way downfield. Anyway, we are playing the Saints at home. Not to say that that's a good thing. We don't, really do much at home, but it is at home. Uh, and the Saints, like I said, are 4-8. They're not especially good team. Um, but I can't say that I'm going into this game expecting a W. I'm going to root for one, but I can't say I expect us to beat the Saints.
You know, you're gonna laugh. I'm expecting a W. I'm, I'm,
I,
I'm, I'm,
I,
I think they can feed off of what we did the last game, at least offensively. At least, I'm not talking defensively now at all. I'm not talking at all
no,
because it's like it's an open door. If the offense has a score almost every time they touch the ball. They,
we're going to have to
we,
score in the 20s, easily in the 20s.
Drew Lock will get if Drew Lock starts, the Giants will be in the game. They'll win. If
I think he's not going to start, though. I've been reading that they haven't decided yet, but it's looking like Tavito, which I don't understand.
But why did we pay Lock the money?
Please, please.
I don't
But I
get
hear you. If Locke starts, you would think we could put up another 20 spot and maybe more against an even worse defense. Will that
it.
be enough? Alvin Kamara is licking his chops. Alvin Kamara is sitting there saying, "Oh wait, Dexter Lawrence ain't playing." Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you think you
I,
think that you think that they're tanking if they do that?
I think that they're going to beat us like they are driving a tank because we have nobody in the middle to stop their run.
Oh man.
And Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara, I'm pretty sure, are saying, uh, here's our get right week. 4-8. Okay, here comes 5-8 because the Giants can't stop nobody.
Five
They're
and
very
eight.
excited playing us.
We're still scoring 14 points. We're getting 14 points out of this one. We're getting 14 points. We're gonna get 14 points. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm
I,
telling
I think I think we might get more than 14. I just don't know if we're going to get more than New Orleans gets.
No, I can't. Again, I can't go by. I can't. It's going to be a shootout because neither. I don't think either team can stop the other one. Not
I
because
mean,
the Giants are so great,
right, right.
and we know our defensive line. Neither one of our lines is like the top of anything. We know that already. I just see DeVito if he plays, he's going to be running for his life. Um, ugh. And you said Theo's not going to play.
Theo's out for the year.
That's a problem right there too. Because
Oh, the only good news of that is that there might be a Daniel Bellinger sighting as a result. And I happen to think we are grossly underused him. So maybe there'll be a ball or two thrown his way just to remind people that he actually was a pretty good tight end for a minute.
he was pretty good. I mean, but
And again, like
okay.
Hyatt. Did he forget how to play tight end? Like, is there some amnesia pill that's going around at Giants, 1925 Giants way?
Right, right. So we're gonna okay, 14 points, and
I think we're going to score more than that.
Slayton has a good game. Slayton has a big game. Slayton six catches for Slayton.
Okay, okay.
6 catches for Slayton. He's
And you
due.
know they're going to be putting their efforts into stopping Neighbors. Like that secret is out of the bag.
Yeah,
If you're playing against the Giants, double team Neighbors. He might get his 6 or 7 catches, but let's make them for like 8 or 10 yards per
right,
catch,
right.
and then make them drive down the field because you know they can't do that very often.
But you know
That's
what? Yeah, with that, they're gonna double team Neighbors. They're gonna definitely have a safety on the over the top, and then Slayton will be single covered, and then they'll slide somebody over him also, and what will happen? Wandale, the backward pass again, and then we keep talking about. I checked out all 22. That's what I've seen. He runs a little swing pattern. I can't believe he put him in motion, and he's still going behind him. And I'm like, what is get that play get
I
it
can't
off
stand it.
of the play card. Get it
I
off.
can't stand it. I can't stand when he circles behind the quarterback. I can't stand that.
It is okay. All right. I'll be optimistic about that. And again,
Okay.
I don't want them to lose. You know that I don't want them to lose.
No. We don't want them to lose. They just may do it anyway.
And we playing at home, so okay. All right.
I mean, for whatever that's worth.
Giant fans,
That hasn't
Big
meant
Blue,
much to us this year.
Big Blue fans.
Yes.
What the score is going to be?
Let us know. Holla at us.
Put it in the comments. Let us know what you think that score is going to be. You think the Giants will score over 14, maybe 21 points?
And who do you think will be the quarterback? Love to hear what you all think about that.
Let us know, please, because this is.
We need some help here. The optimism is waning. We need some help. Keep it all right, this is Clay from Brooklyn. Football with the fellas. Who's that over there?
Mazo. It's all about Big Blue. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate it. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. And even ask them. Ask your friends, what do they think about the Giants? Because we know it's all about Big Blue, so we don't give up. We want our team to win. Definitely always want them to win. But, stay optimistic. Stick with us. Hang out with Football with the fellas, because it's all about Big Blue.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? As we say every time when we leave,
peace, y'all. Peace.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out lmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.